And welcome to Behind the Cards. I'm Taliesin Jaffe, and we have the lovely Whitney Moore here with us today to talk all about the 10-year anniversary tarot deck that is available right now for purchase in all Crit Role shops. I'm so excited. Today is also, I might add, Beacon's anniversary. And to celebrate Beacon, you can get 1 month free when joining with joining or reactivating with promo code BDayCards at checkout. That's BDayCards.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Beacon.
Happy
this is
birthday,
so exciting.
Beacon.
I'm so excited to talk about these cards.
All
They're
these
so
Beacon
pretty.
bits. They are. I've been waiting. Oh God. And I think it's time to bring out. We'll bring out our first guest, who's someone who we're going to be bringing friends and family out for this, and especially people who know and remember a lot more about the deck and tarot in general.
And
because,
you.
Well, my brain is mush these days, clearly, but and I haven't done a reading in so long that like I need my refresher, and I've been slowly rereading how to run one of these decks again.
Is it a refresher that you need, or is it a mother?
Oh no, you're so cruel. But before that, let's welcome product design and dev manager Adrienne Cho and my mom as our tarot experts. This is my mom,
Hello?
Kether.
Hello?
Yeah,
just to be clear,
Kether.
this is your mother.
Yeah.
This is what
That's
I've done.
not the reveal we're
This
doing
is why
today.
I'm nervous as hell, is because
You
of
should
this
be,
happening.
yeah.
Oh yes, I am absolutely terrified.
Damn, I totally forgot that I was going to bring a wig today to match everybody's cool colored hair. But at least I got the Molly colored.
Yeah, you got the Molly
Yeah,
colored.
Yeah,
You're cool.
it's doing the most work.
You can always, yeah. But hey, welcome.
Thank you. How exciting. I'm very excited to be here and to talk about this. And he's not on camera because he's shy, but my husband, who pretty much helped make this, he's in the background and he's watching as well. And he's going to be in the Discord, Chu, and he's going to be answering some of your questions. Anything that we don't have time to get into today, we can answer on Discord after, and I'll also chime in there. But yeah, let's talk about this deck, you guys. Look how pretty
It's so pretty.
Look at this. I'm so happy with everything. Just like all the details, a lot of love went into this, as you know. It's a big labor.
Yeah, we don't normally talk about things that we make in like great detail, but we put so much work and time and energy into this thing.
Yes.
Well, you guys had the additional challenge of like not just making a really cool, beautiful, well-designed, easy-to-read deck because we are all fans of tarot here, but also using canonical CR characters who fit the bill for each archetype, and that's a really big job.
What a wonderful task to have. I wish I had that task.
What a wonderful Sisyphusian.
Wow. Ow. Thank you.
Should we talk about why we after 10 years, why did you feel like this was the time to bring Kether on board? When did you decide this is the break glass in case of emergency, need mom? Why was this the moment?
You may know the answer to this, which is if I had done this without you, you would have never forgiven me.
Oh,
Think about this airing.
and me seeing it, and me not seeing me on it, and then bad things would happen.
I think it would have gone poorly. I think it would have been Sam. Sam brings his mom on to do stuff. What?
What?
Really?
Oh yeah, no.
Okay,
so.
well now it's
Oh,
really
that is
not
true.
okay.
Yeah, of course, mom one, of course.
Some people may think she's an actor because he does do that too. Like,
Yeah.
not like
Oh
that he,
yeah,
like,
hired a
someone.
mother. Yeah.
But I mean, I think the important thing is, how do you know what you know about the tarot?
You.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is all you. You were reading tarot. Like I don't remember.
I
in the moment.
figured that I was reading tarot 7 years before you were born.
Yeah.
Which is like 55 years ago. So
Don't do the math.
Sorry, don't do the math. But actually, you know what? You guys have brought a little treat because I watch Weird Kids and I love all the weird stuff that you guys brought in.
I forget
so
that you got
Yes, I heard it all, and I disagree with some of it. But but do you guys have that thing I brought in by any chance?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
coming.
no.
It's big. But I think you should have your mom on Weird Kids. I think that's a sign.
I'm not ready for
I
that.
think that's the
We'll work up to
next
that.
thing.
So guys, are you ready for
Don't know what
this?
this is.
Are you
Oh,
ready
God.
for this?
I know.
Oh my God, you hateful person.
I think it's
forgot
lovely.
about that photo.
I think
So
it's so
good.
lovely.
So I mean, the
totally
thing
forgot about
is
that.
if you look at it, first of all, look at how focused and constant. Have you ever seen a 3-year-old thinking about the cards that intensely?
I haven't been that
He's
focused and
locked
concentrated
in.
about anything in like 14
Heather,
years.
I thought you were going to say, first of all, look how hot I look.
I thought she was going to go there too.
Because, come on.
I think that's also
Time is a cruel mistress, guys. I'm here to represent. But if you. But if you look, you know, you can see the cards down here. And I just want to point out, I did bring one other thing, which is I brought my tarot cards. Shall I put this down?
absolutely.
And the reason that I
Lord.
brought my tarot cards is because I've been using the same tarot cards. I have lots of decks. But I've been using the same tarot deck for 55 years. And let me tell you, when you use a deck for 55 years, oh, that's not a good thing to happen.
Trying to figure out where this
But
is.
you can see if you look at this deck that this is
Bring it back. All right.
the very deck
yep.
that we're looking at in this picture where Taliesin, is it? You have to stand it up. I think.
I was looking at the top.
You can see that we have
I
been looking at the
noticed
same.
that when you showed the picture, I was like, those are your cards. Look how well loved these are.
Yeah, I mean it's
incredible.
rough.
It's
No, I
imbued with
love
so
it.
much magic. And when we were prepping for the stream yesterday, Kether gave us readings with that deck.
correct.
Absolutely blew my mind. And so what I look forward to for all of you guys who own this Critical Role deck is for it to get as weathered and as loved as Kether's, because the more you use a deck, the more power it is imbued with.
It's so much fun.
It's so true. It's so true. And it's up to you guys to like really like how you think about your deck, how you treat your deck, how you honor your deck is all about the power and the magic that you're going to put in it. Put it in a sacred place. Use it all the time, guys. All the time, especially when you're beginning. You know, 2, 3, 4 readings a day. Go for it.
Wow, okay.
A lot
I'm
like guitar.
exaggerating.
No, it's a lot like guitar.
I
You pick
love
it up
that.
every day.
Because you have to develop a relationship with all the archetypes, and that's something that I also really love. I just want to call out the foreword that you did and also
God,
that Shu did,
yeah.
because there's so I'm quiet. I made me quiet because there's so much family history with you two and tarot. I mean, I consider you in many ways to be an esoteric mentor of mine, and I feel that your foreword, it just really hits how you can develop a personal relationship with these cards that will be with you for all of your life, and these archetypes will show up. You know, Kether and I are going to talk a lot about like Jungian psychology and how that shows up in tarot today, but these archetypes, they serve you at different parts of your life, and it just is, the more you give to it, the more you get back. And I feel like you're
And just like your other friends, you know, they change.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, there's a few different philosophies to how the cards work and how to play with them at this table, which I'm very excited about.
Should we talk about this deck? Because I think one of the things that I thought about too is like, you know, obviously you guys are very well versed in tarot. In your case, an expert. You all your life. You are maybe a little bit more recently, but also very devoted. I am still very new to tarot myself. I've really only gotten into it since meeting my husband, who has grown up with it all his life. His parents are both readers, and it was like imbued in his sort of childhood. And so I kind of approach this almost like from a fan perspective of like, I love these characters and I love tarot and the art of tarot. I love the art and every card and all the symbolism there. And something that I thought about so much was like how tarot is very much telling stories and how that aligns so well with Critical Role and what you guys do. And so one of the questions I saw come up a lot in the Discord was, how did we decide like which characters were going to be which cards? Like that, you know, that seems like the biggest question. And
We took a poll.
We did, yes. If you missed it, you forgot to check your spam. But I think the answer is not as exciting as people think, because it's literally, I mentioned to Chu, I was like, hey baby, I think we're gonna maybe make a tarot deck. And then I went to take a shower, and then by the time I came out, he was like, here you go. And he literally had written in like 15 minutes all of the like Major Arcana and assigned, and I think we only made like 3 changes.
There was, I mean, like we went down the list, and
Yeah.
there were a few changes for practicality. There were a few.
yeah.
There were a few. It wasn't even. We don't even do heated debates. There were.
No.
There were.
I
There were
just wanted to
powerful,
like it-
intellectual,
like,
intellectual
slight discussions.
Perry reposts.
Yes. But
yeah.
I remember you being like, I hate how right he is.
Yeah,
like
no, there
you
were a few.
saying, I'm mad at how right it is.
There were a couple where I was like, but what about? Oh God,
No,
damn
it
it,
wouldn't work because
fair.
I think it's hard. I think IP decks, as we know, it's like sometimes difficult because you're kind of balancing like this has to work as a tarot deck, but also you have to honor what who the characters are and make sure that they're represented correctly, and that can be quite difficult. Something that we found doing this was it is crazy how perfectly slotted the characters were to each of the major arcana, and that felt very like kismet. Like it felt very like
Like as we were, because we were working on this while we were in campaign 3, and
That's right,
things
yeah.
would happen in campaign 3, and I would
Yeah.
go, oh, that's useful. Oh no, they just
for an
walked,
interaction, the lovers
walked
should pull that out.
right into
Yeah.
that card.
I,
Oh, no.
I remember,
that.
like when I first saw Temperance.
Temperance, everybody, is also the caduceus. Well,
And
yeah,
I
this
was
is
like,
the better way to. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I
Or if we
first
can
saw.
bring temperance up on.
I
the-
first saw Temperance. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, could it? Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh, I get it. So I had that first moment of like, I don't get it, but then it
That's-
just sank in.
Yeah.
That
so
was a
well.
card we had some debate about. There was some debate on temperance, if I recall.
Yeah, I think it was originally we were like, oh, would it be? No, I think it was the Hermit. That was the
the
one.
Hermit was
Hermit
the-
and Judgment. We know Judgment. That's a
Yeah.
whole thing. She does not like Judgment.
We will
It's
have
tough.
that
It's a tough one.
conversation in a little bit.
Should we talk about our favorite cards?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, just since we're here, though,
Yeah,
like
let's look at
who? I know someone picked the Fool, but before we start the Fool, I want to show
Yes, please.
my
Yeah.
first favorite Easter egg.
So great.
It's good.
So, the Fool and Caduceus both have color schemes, and there's a lot of connection between these two cards, and that was very intentional, including that not only are they both in cemeteries, if you can see, but if you look in the back of, especially it's clear in the back of Caduceus's card, there's Molly. Posing for his card in the background, and then the tree is also nestled in Caduceus. So
Yeah.
they're at the other ends of this particular site.
Way back there.
It's
so
almost
cute.
like it means something.
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe so.
But yeah, let's
It's almost like they were like played by the
Same person. Oh.
well, I mean, and like just before we hop into this, because
Yeah. Yes,
just for the part of the audience that enjoys this, and I'm always a big fan of the phrase I make which is tarot for atheists,
Yes.
which is where I love to remove everything that makes someone go, I don't know, and just this is a very, very old game. I mean, it's not. This is a very early storytelling game, and these characters and the minor arcana are a series of nouns and verbs, almost like a crossword game, except that you can put these characters, these nouns and verbs, in any order. I believe like a 5-card spread is like 2.5 billion different combinations.
Yeah.
It's endless.
Endless. Yeah.
And it always tells a story. Like it always can give you a place to walk, and it is, and because of that, like it's this formation, you can actually just get these really interesting patterns of the types of people, the things that happen to them, and while it may seem chaotic and random in and in itself, it can become extremely meaningful the way that any story can become
And you know,
meaningful.
I mean, I wouldn't really be able to do this, but I bet for some of the critters who are really hip and really knowledgeable, like they could even tell a critical role story. They could tell a critical
hadn't thought
role
about that.
story.
Oh my gosh,
Oh no.
fan.
Oh no.
That's such a good idea. You can write your own like fanfic
Like,
with the deck. That's so cool.
I used to use mine for writer's block quite a bit, where I
to
would
help you work
if I was
through-
stuck, I'd be
work
like
through
flip,
a
flip,
moment.
flip,
Yeah.
Oh,
flip,
yeah.
flip, flip.
It's
Okay,
such a
okay.
cheat. I mean, it
love
really
it.
is. There's
It's
so
great for
many
character
ways to
stuff.
cheat your life with tarot.
And on Taliesin's point of just how many innumerable different types of layouts you can have and how many different combinations you can have, what always trips me out so much is that I draw the same cards all the time.
I know.
Yesterday, there was one card in particular that haunted us.
Yes.
before we
Should
go
we
in.
talk about it?
Let's
Talk
just
about
do it.
it.
Let's just do it.
talk about
My
it.
biggest shame.
I'm tempted to just see if it pops right up when
No,
oh, these
'cause
are all.
no, these are
yeah,
we
Major.
purpose. So there is a print error in this deck. Although you
I'm not
said
gonna
something
look for
so
it.
beautiful, which is there.
It's totally true.
it's
But let's talk about what the
yeah,
error
so
is,
it's
and then we'll talk
the
about it.
4 of Cups in this deck is labeled 4 of Coins. So just that last word
Absolutely
was misprinted.
intentionally.
Yeah, totally. We totally did that on purpose, guys. So
Yeah.
that is a huge bummer. It's also a lesson in no matter how many times you thought you've proofread it, it wasn't enough. However, the funny thing is we were talking about it, and I mentioned it yesterday because we all met to go over the cards and do readings for each other. And I'm not joking, and I have witnesses. 4 or 5 different decks, and that card kept coming up
over and over again. And the thing is, guys,
it was really taunting.
the thing is, not only are there no accidents, but the cards themselves have their own personality. And, you know, I'm afraid, if I may use a bad word, this is just a little bit of the cards going, hey, Critical Role, fuck you.
Yeah. And, look, fuck you lovingly.
Yeah, with the most love.
But for those who know, I'm going to say, fuck your faves.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, you will know.
You will know,
Fuck your faves.
Yeah, that is.
There it is.
No,
There's the baby.
That will make
that's
sense.
The actual one.
That will make sense in a week.
No, it came yesterday.
Well, just for.
But the thing
right,
is,
that's right.
the thing is, what do you guys do when either the 4 of coins or
That's right. We could talk about this.
what do you do when those come up? Even because there are 2 cards in the deck that say the same thing,
But but.
and it's just not an accident, okay?
Yeah.
There's meaning there that all of us
we've
together
pulled.
will be figuring out for years and years to come. And if you guys have any insight about it, or if you have stuff that comes up in your readings, you should text and say.
We were sort of workshopping that too. It's like they do talk to each other, the 4s, right? Like all of the numbers, they kind of have themes that run through all the suits. And in this instance, 4 of coins, she calls it the Gollum card because it's very Gollum. He's sort of like hugging his riches. He's very like hanging on. It's the card of greed, right?
Here we have the cups and the coins.
And then
Who are very related. I mean,
yes, they do talk to you. And then the 4 of cups. What is your sort of read on that?
If you, in the Rider deck or in a lot of the decks that are based off the Rider deck, it's like this guy and he's sitting and he's focused on these 3 cups and he's just like he's right there. He's all in the 3 cups, and then out of the tree a hand is coming down behind him with the 4th cup, and he totally doesn't see it.
Right.
And it's like, what with your fabulous focus and concentration, what are you missing?
Yeah, both cards are sort of speak to hyper-fixation and hyper-focus and this need for control over a situation. And so there's so many tarot decks out there, right? They all have different art. A lot of them go back to the Rider Waite. But ultimately, what I love about this deck is that there are things to get from each card that you won't get from other ones. Like it's about having a personal relationship with the deck itself. And so the fact that this is unique and specific to this deck is actually like, it's kind of sick, actually. It's kind of fucking dope because it actually is like there's a little bit of personality to it, but there's also an added layer of meaning that you can draw from that of like, oh, if I get the 4 of coins that has if I get the 4 of cups and it says 4 of coins, is there something else that I'm overlooking in the sort of like coins sphere? You know?
I have a lot of opinions on the coins anyway, so that's a whole.
Sam.
That's a whole 30-minute.
I want to
There's
say,
a rant there.
I want to say something too. I'm assuming that out there somewhere in fandom are people who are card readers and do a lot of readings.
I've met
And
them.
one of the things that I want to say is when you do this deck and you work with this deck, you're going to discover new things about the cards that you never knew, and you're just going to be like, oh my gosh, right, and it'll just go into your whole language that you speak with the cards.
And like as a learning piece too, I will say, since you mentioned the 4s all having the number runs, it's a good way to just start to learn. It's honestly what I was starting to do for this stream before everything happened and I fell behind on my reading. Is it almost graphs, because you have the 4 tools, you have the wands, the swords, the coins, and the cups. I almost said coins again. And then the numbers also all connect. So it is a grid. So you can actually start to, if you get confused, you can often sometimes get a lot of meaning just by going this plus this.
5.
Like like early kanji. If you're learning Japanese, it's very like, I know that bit, that bit. There we are.
And some of you guys have the cards already, right? And if you have the cards, you may have noticed that the cards are a little bit smaller than a box. And I was like, oh my God. I mean, I'm sorry I put it this way, but I was like, thank you, Taliesin. Because, but I mean, but that's who I thank. And because anybody who's really serious about the cards know that you wrap your cards in silk.
Oh yeah.
And so look at this. It fits. And like, it's like, does not shake. And
I love it because it's like you're tucking them in to sleep. You're like, here you go. Here's your little
Yeah.
blanket.
And while we're talking about the box, let's just plug how dang pretty it is. It's got Adrienne. I did not know this until yesterday. It's got all the Major Arcana on the inside.
Suits. Yeah, the
It's
suits
got the
are,
suits.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's got the
we
suits,
went
and then
nuts.
this Molly Mock quote.
Yeah.
Say it.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's what the cards are saying. It's right in front of you.
Yeah.
Hi, Molly Mock Tea Leaf. Look at that. I learned how to do the accent.
You did
Fucking
it.
only
Practice.
took an entire other campaign, didn't it?
I believe I said something rather like that yesterday.
Yeah.
during
did.
the-
Absolutely true. I got read to filth yesterday, and will probably again
it was
today.
so
It
I'm
was
excited
gorgeous.
for that. Should
Yes.
we run
Let's
through
run
our
through
faves?
some of these
Yeah.
because this makes I want to
Wait, where's my fave?
There, you
Some-
wanted the magician. right?
Magician.
some
Oh, there
IP
he is,
decks,
yeah.
you know, some decks with characters on them. It feels like, for those of you who are old enough, like it went through like Wizard magazine casting.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's just like this is like the base layer, but we did like some of them. On the other hand, much like we did, we everything, despite how quickly that list happened, it was hotly debated and convert,
Well,
and then
assigning
when
characters
the art,
was just
yeah.
step one, and then it was so many iterations of their posing or like what elements we wanted in the cards. So do you want to start with?
Yeah,
Yes.
you start with yours.
My favorite of all time. I mean, I have so many fave Major Arcana, but I love the Magician. The Magician archetype has been very good to me in the last. I've been reading tarot for like 6 years, so I am like on the grand scale of my life. Hopefully, early on, hope to live long enough to have read for 100 years. No, but close.
Yes.
I love the Magician, and of course, Essek is like doing this super sick magic. We've got all the suits in with it. I really,
it should
really,
be.
really appreciate. And I love all of the cards. The vibrancy of the print is. I have no idea how you guys did it. It's so. I don't know if it's just because
Shout
it's
out to
on
the artists.
black. Yeah.
James Fenner did all the artwork for the Major Arcana. Snow Conrad did all the artwork for the suit card, the court cards. Thank you. And then Matt Paquette and his amazing team did all the graphic designs, so the gorgeous work on the box and all of the pips designs and everything. I mean, so stunning. Also, shout out to Beacon.
Yeah.
The Luxon is right there.
Gotta have a Luxon.
Yeah, I gotta have the Luxon.
It just it jumps out of the card at you, and I love the dynamic aspect of this. Like, I love the movement of it, and I just love the Magician as a card. I'm a big believer in as within, so without, as above, so below, and I think that it speaks to that, and I just think Essek is a perfect character for that too, to represent.
He ended up there. I know it's odd because there's so many PCs, and is this the only NPC in the Major Arcana?
This is thanks to you, because we noticed that Matt wasn't represented in the Major Arcana. I think that was such a good call. Originally, we were thinking of Tyrion for the Magician,
no,
but
no,
I
no,
think
no,
you
no,
were like,
no,
no. Sam doesn't need to be in this
it's
3
so
times.
mad.
And I think
not-
Essek is the right choice, absolutely the right choice. And it's wonderful to feature Matt in the Major Arcana in that way.
And it's the closest to a PC that he's played. Also, it's the
For
one that
sure.
I really.
Yeah, I think so.
And
Yeah.
Matt slotting in
is
as the
putting it all
Magician
together,
is
100%.
appropriate.
It's a pretty. I mean, he can never be the fool because he is not. That is really the fool by its very nature is a player character, and I know we're going to get into that later. But
Yeah.
like the Magician, you can have a DM. Like the Magician is playing with all the tools. Like they are sitting here and everything. They have control of every aspect of it. And then I love that the beacon is painted the same way as the tools, almost like there's a fifth tool now, which is also a die.
Yes.
Which is so
the
it is.
chance, the randomness.
It,
right?
it does give a little bit of dungeon master, like of game master energy to it, which
The
was.
Magician is very DM
I mean, creating like something out of nothing, and Do you want to
Very
talk about
conductor. Am I next?
your next? Let's hear it.
Okay, this one I pulled up. It's hard to pick a favorite.
I mean, this one is actually my favorite, but I wanted you to talk about it. It's so good.
So this anyone who's read a pamphlet about tarot with a 3-sentence description of each card can look at this and go, yeah, that tracks. This was not a hard one. When you talk about unhealthy obsession and an inability to walk away from unhealthy things and being chained to bad habits, nothing screams that like Percival Durella of just somebody who, like, so much of their energy, especially now that they're an older older, although this is very much, as you can see, a very young Percy. This is actually, I would call this, it's either end of the first chunk of campaign 1 or pre-campaign 1.
I saw it as pre-campaign 1.
Yeah, it's very much this young version of him where he is not even conscious of his demons.
Can I say something that you
Bullet
noticed yesterday?
brain.
I remember you pointed out how these two cards are a cool parallel. The High Priestess, which shows Jester and her sort of, patron over her shoulder, and then here we have Percy and his patron over his shoulder.
Both questionably bad relationships, but
And
their relationships, the same color palette, and the relationships
same color
are so
palette,
different.
And the thing that I noticed earlier today when I was looking at it is that the big difference to me is that Jester's looking right at you, and Percy is so focused on his task that he's blind.
And his patron is very much right in there.
Looking at you.
And her patron is Peter panning at the window going, hey.
He's respectfully holding back. He's
We'll
waiting
see.
for his moment. Waiting for his moment.
He's trying not to break the glass.
Okay, so
He's trying to in your eyes, but
I'm going to talk about my faves real quick.
that's my really.
Yes.
It's an easy vibe.
It's so good,
So
and
good, this
I love
one.
how different it almost feels
Oh.
like a different universe, right?
It really is something
so
coming
pretty.
out of a like bad animation nightmare.
I'm going to quickly talk about my fave, the Tower.
Yeah.
card
Speaking
is
of
so
of miss
Yes.
cards with a bad rap.
So the reason why I love this, it's slightly for a meta reason, which is that Caleb as a Tower was the very first card we thought of when we were, even before we knew this was even going to be a thing, we were like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we made a Crooked Roll tarot deck? That would never happen. But Caleb would be the Tower. Like we would always say, but Caleb would be the
Caleb
Tower.
would have to be the
Obviously,
Tower.
Caleb would be the Tower. Because nothing, I think, captures that moment of catastrophic change in your life, but also like a complete, like, nothing will ever be the same. It's that moment of nothing will ever be the same. And I think you said something really cool, which I lost my notes, but it was something about how, like, that can be, sorry, I'm touching my mic. That can be something of your own doing.
Yes,
like, it's like,
dude.
it goes up in flames, and he set the flames. Like, he did that,
That's
right?
something that I think we don't get
Please
to
don't make
see
me
a
do it.
lot with tower cards, because the traditional
fire.
imagery of a tower is two people like, "Wah!" and they're like
Yeah,
falling
falling
out.
out, yeah.
And so there isn't an insinuation that they did this, but sometimes
It is
you,
of your own
sometimes
yeah.
you're doing, sometimes you're doing it, and it's
Yeah.
great. It's great to see.
And the background, I mean, if you want
Yeah,
to talk about like.
originally we were gonna have just his house, and then you.
I was like, no. Yeah, I was like, I have a,
Yeah.
like, I love, there's nothing more Caleb, and there's nothing that ties him more to this because of his obsession about this one bad decision that ruined everything, is that he built a magic tower.
Yeah.
He built a magic happy tower filled
then-
with wonder and cats, and then the top floor is a recreation of his house that he burned down.
Yeah.
That
It's so dramatic.
his house
It's
is
so
sitting here at
dramatic.
the top of the tower. It's
Yeah.
literally like so. Technically, that wonderful place is technically speaking always on fire,
Yes.
and it's always his fault.
It's his
And I was just,
fault.
that's rough, buddy.
I don't know if you can call it a positive spin or whatever, but like that needed to happen because it was an illusion. It was
Yeah.
this idea of a lie.
Right, and
Yeah.
once you blow up the tower,
Yeah.
then you really know what is essential and what is you, because that which is a man's own can never be lost or burned to the ground. Whatever is left is the essence of you, and so it's almost like all the poor people whose houses burned down, like all of them have, amidst all the sorrow, like this little piece of joy of really fine.
Yeah, if you're like, you definitely, I will say my few, because welcome to
I
LA
have
where
some.
we know everybody.
Yeah, I only know a handful, but
There's an awful lot of, boy, I figured out exactly what it is that I really want really quick. Like, well,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, yeah, if you have to pack, as someone who also had to pack all their shit, it was like, oh, what's important really became very apparent extremely quickly.
and it's just that it is a
Why
real
wasn't it in the
opportunity.
box?
Like if you get the tower, it doesn't mean that something terrible is going to happen to you. It means that the things that are unimportant are likely to fall away.
And I think that generally, at least in the readings that I have done, if you're getting a tower, baby, you know, it's not ever a surprise. It's like,
you're not winning a lot.
You're like,
chaos is
oh,
happening,
yeah,
and
right.
to me, it's like almost an affirmation from the universe or whomsoever that like this is an acknowledgement that you're going through the shit and that chaos is happening, and there's something on the other side. It is what is it, slash and burn farming, right? Where like controlled flames,
Right,
where it's
right,
like
right,
you have to burn it down sometimes so that new things can grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yet it can definitely, it can go either way, and you usually know.
You
And,
know
and
when-
oftentimes it is also like, why are you holding on to this one dumb thing? Let it go. Let it, you just stop.
Did those words come out of my mouth?
Yeah, no.
So my card is the Fool.
Yeah.
And there's
So
a
many
there's a couple of reasons for that. One is that when I did go to school in England, I did my A-levels on Shakespeare, and my paper was on the role of the fool in Shakespeare. And the thing about the fool in Shakespeare is nobody can tell these assholes who are king what is fucking going on except for the fool. And the fool is the one who tells the truth and can get away with it because, you know, he's a dumb shit. He doesn't know anything. And so all through Shakespeare, you see this pattern of the fool being the only person who's telling it like it is.
Jester's privilege.
Yes,
It was
exactly.
a paid position specifically to have somebody
Exactly.
whose job it was to say
Yeah.
I wish
say
that
something
were
where they
me.
were not going to be
Poor Jester.
executed. Yeah.
Right.
In another area.
I think Robert Jaffe once said there should be someone on every set
Oh,
whose
yes.
only job it is to state the obvious, which is kind of a great thing. But anyway, there's another part of the Fool too that I
That looks
love.
expensive. Why are you doing that? That seems really expensive. Oh shit, yeah.
Right. So the other thing about the Fool is that he is this like guileless character without, you know, he doesn't have any plan. He doesn't have any like things that he's trying to do. And if you look at the rider deck, he's like just got his head in the sky and he's about to like walk over this cliff.
He's got a familiar too, if I recall. There's a
Yeah,
rider
a
deck.
little
Is there a
dog,
cat?
little dog,
yeah.
little dog, and he's about to walk over
Oh, the
this
rider.
cliff, and it's like I just know that at the bottom of the cliff is paradise, because he can't go wrong.
Yeah.
He's got the fate of, he walks his path. He doesn't know how to get off his own path, and it's really really cool. And I get goosebumps.
It's very
talking
much
about it.
leap in a nutshell appear. I feel like we've been angling in on this. There was a question that you brought up, Adri, that an audience member asked, which is talking about the misunderstood cards of the tarot. I think
Oh,
the Fool is one of them. The Devil you
Fool's a
picked,
big one.
which
Definitely.
is, I know you have a lot of
Yeah.
opinions on people thinking that, and Death also thinking
Oh,
that
very-
is
yeah,
Death
a
is a
bad
great
card.
card. I
It's
love
a great
Death.
card to get.
I
think
Yeah.
the Lovers also,
Yes, very important.
also a great, beautiful piece
about
of
it?
art.
Actually, really
My
quick,
God.
just because I want to hit this.
Yeah.
For those who are wondering,
yeah.
the reason that there's not the reason that there's not a cliff in here is because we don't need the cliff. We have the 9 Ives on
That's
the tombstone.
correct. Yeah.
That is the jump. And
the leap.
it's also Molly was also the Fool in the Oracle deck we made,
That's
where
correct.
he's not
He's always
walking.
been the Fool.
He's
always-
walking
yeah.
over a warring army.
That's right.
Which is always
Yeah.
like
And
that.
he's dressed like the Fool.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, we'll get into. We can get. Yeah. There's a.
Yeah.
there's
We'll
a
go
thing.
there.
But yes, let's go to the Lovers.
Oh
my
my
God.
gosh, it's such a beautiful card. But my thing with the Lovers is people always think it's about romantic relationships, and it's almost never about romantic relationships. To me, my personal read on it is that it is about the Jungian masculine and feminine balance, the structural versus the intuitive, the penetrating versus receiving, the building versus cyclical aspect of the
about
world.
this for
which,
so long.
yeah, I mean, I think about the Lovers a lot. I'm also a lover girl. I'm down bad 99% of the time, and I love this card very much. Weirdly, it does not come up for me a lot in readings. The Lovers almost never shows up for me. And I know someone in chat, I wish I saw it. Someone in chat was like, Whitney did a reading for me. I think probably because I did some to raise money for the fires a bit ago, and she said that the Empress comes up a lot for her, and she was saying that, asking which cards for us come up a lot. For me, also Empress comes up a lot, weirdly, which is like,
The one you identify with?
yeah, I mean, it's very like, I love that she has one in the rider deck, at least she's got one foot in the pond, meaning like she's on the ground, but she's got the waters of intuition that she's connected to, and it's very like fertile, abundant energy, which I vibe with, and yeah.
Symbolism, my favorite language.
Yeah.
Really, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Who comes up for you guys?
I mean, now that I'm older, Temperance. We should actually, honestly, I feel like we should actually try and use these cards.
Yeah.
Do we have time? Do we have time to
Let's
do?
do. I think we have time for
a quick reading.
I'm gonna do this because I know that
Okay, let me
you know
hear
too much
this.
about my life and it will be
Oh, I'm not
too
going to
much.
read for you on camera. Holy shit,
Thank
no.
you.
So here's the box, which, you know, I have, God, I love the box, which I've wrapped my cards in. And
Swear I'm trying to
if you look at the little booklet here, you'll see that they do the Celtic cross layout, which is, you know, a really standard layout and also a really great layout. Terrific, terrific layout. So I do a couple of things differently than, and I'll do it as I go through. But can we talk about one thing before we start?
Yes.
Can we talk about reversed cards?
Yes.
Hot button issue.
Hot button issue.
Yeah.
Hey kids,
Hey kids.
don't believe what they tell you. Like, do not believe what they tell you.
So
Reversed
propaganda.
cards.
Reverse cards propaganda.
Reverse cards do not mean it's the bad side of the card.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I will agree. I agree with that.
Yeah.
So for me, and I'm not saying this is for everybody, but for me, reversed cards are very specifically, and again, it goes back to the Jungian thing, where they're talking about this is a situation that's happening internally in your inner world.
Yeah.
And so you're not going to see a lot of outer manifestation around this, but it's what's going on internally.
I think that that's the better way to read it because also it gives you a healthier relationship with your deck because you don't want to feel punished by a reversal. It just means either, I agree, either to me it is internalized, has yet to be made manifest, or maybe there's an overabundance or a lack of the energy. I never think that it's like the opposite of like,
No.
you know,
No.
which people tend to do, and it's
That I agree. As coming from the, I was prepared, by the way, because I know some of your opinions would be like, hey kids, you want some reversals? All the other kids are doing it behind the gymnasium.
Oh God, I dropped the 9 of Wands.
Too funny.
No.
Okay.
No.
We need to move this.
My feelings are actually they are weirdly similar. I just don't approach it from that Jungian area just because my later education was much more of like a traditional detached occultist build where it's a little bit more comparative religious, except for it's comparative. I don't have a good word. Comparative woo-woo. I'm not entirely sure what to
Comparative
call
woo
it.
is
I like it.
exactly right. Yeah.
I really love that. Like we talked a lot about the last time. Like I did a real dissection with a few friends. You know, our friends over. You know who I'm talking about. I will not mention them on camera.
I'll go on name.
That it's I'm not gonna say quiblothic. It's not helpful. The reversals are an awful lot about just removing a certain amount of environment out of it. Instead of like the internal, which is what you're talking about, it becomes a little bit more selfish.
Okay.
It's
I
a
get
little
that.
about. It's a little bit more about you're not connecting to the outside world, or the more
Or you're
religious
kind
version
of
of that.
holding on to this as a personal
Yeah,
issue, sort of thing.
the religious version of it would be that the cards themselves are a relationship that has the notion that all things are connected and all things are like you have this connection to the outside world and everything is part of you. And then the reversal is the removal of that, where it's you are a separate entity and the things that you do outside of yourself or to other people have no effect on you, and that you are not acknowledging that you are part of a larger system.
Ooh, I like.
Which
I think all this to say is like there are so many ways to read reversals, and that's just additional flavor for you. Like a lot
And
of
you will
people
know.
don't read tarot reversals at all.
I have a
And-
lot of friends who are like, hell no, you can suck eggs.
Yeah,
Don't touch
yeah.
that shit.
And also, you'll find it. It's yours to find or not find.
There's
But
no
let's
wrong
get
way.
to our reading because I don't want to run out of
There's
time.
no wrong way to play
I'm
D&D.
going to show you guys how I do this because that's the only thing I know how to show you, which is I will start by saying, hey,
Hey,
how are you?
I'm so good. I'm so excited that I get to read.
I'm excited too. So you know what? And while I'm talking to her, I'm working with the cards, and I'm going to say, so you know, what do you want to know about today?
Yes. Okay. So I thought of a question beforehand. So we, streaming is I got a job recently. Praise be. The dry spell is up. Thank you. Thank
that's
you.
good.
It hasn't started yet, but I'm pretty nervous about it because it's like it's a job that I'm really excited about, and I'm going to be working with people that I really love and respect, and I feel like it's something that and there's a lot of like good fears happening, you know, like.
So I'm going to stop you right there, and I'm going to hand the cards to her, and I have her tell me the rest of this story while she does whatever she wants to do with the cards to get them ready for.
I'm not looking at chat. They're making me laugh.
Don't look at chat.
Sorry.
It's I feel like it's just since the strikes, it's been like such a crazy, and like every friend that I have in entertainment, it's been really rough. And so, you know, a job coming in is always like, oh, thank fucking God. But also, in my career, there have been honestly very few jobs that I've had where I'm actually like, oh, I'm really nervous about this, and I hope that I do a good job, and I think I will. But it's like it's that like nervous good fear. So if the cards have anything to say, any encouraging words for me, or watch out, bitch, you're gonna.
And as you have learned, I will not hold back.
No, you
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's true.
You got to tell your truth, guys.
You have to. Don't hold
right.
Is
back.
that it? Are we ready?
I think
time.
we're ready. Oh,
And-
let me cut.
Oh, please.
Ooh.
That's what you got to do.
Wow.
Yes.
All right.
Cut, don't cut, whatever it is to get it in the right place.
And
I
then-
take a.
Okay, we
Yeah,
want to
remember,
keep it
remember to keep
right
it,
here.
keep it in there.
Oh, even further? Right
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
we want to be up here.
Yeah. All
And
right.
then facing them, yeah.
So I have to take a
Hi,
second.
Sam.
Yep.
I have to take a second and
3 readings.
get
That's what you
myself
from
out of the
so-
way
Okay.
and, you know, just ask for clarity. Whatever you do to feel like you're present and centered. And so one of the things that I do that's different than most readers do is I have an extra card. And the extra card is the first card. Because I think sometimes people don't actually know what their real question is. And so this card is the real question. Oh my God. It's
Oh
my God.
Wow, a favorite.
Oh my gosh.
Incredible.
So I just feel like what
Thank
this is.
God I stacked this thing, Karen.
Yeah, no kidding. So I just feel like for you, you're just, it's barreling down the road to this thing and it's happening and you're just not totally sure if you've got these horses under control and you're just hoping they don't take you off to the left when you need to go to the right. And so you have a lot of nervousness because it's all going, even though it might be far away that it's starting, it's like, it is like it's just coming. It's just coming. And also there isn't really a way to prepare. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And so this card is you in this situation. Oh, the 6 of Wands. I'm double checking. Yeah. It's victory.
Oh.
It's victory. It's like after the strife, after the problems, it's victory. And so what I'm saying about this is whatever this job may be, this is your thing.
Cool.
You're where you're supposed to be. It's the right job. You're all about it. I'm not saying it's all going to be a happy. I'm just saying this.
Yeah,
so
I mean, so far so good.
so what is your protection? Where can you go? What can you do for support? Where do you look for support?
You just said
Finally.
You just said
Finally, I got the
Yeah.
lovers. That's
Wow.
that's
One of my
like
favorite
one
cards.
of the first few times I've ever gotten this card. Wow.
I love
That, I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. It's like when the 4 kept coming up yesterday. It's like we're just
summoned them.
talking about
Yeah.
this.
Like, did you say my name?
And so there's like this internal, we'll talk Jungian, there's an internal duality about you that you're talking about, and you just need to make sure that if you're a Jungian, your anima and your animus are connecting and talking. If you're not a Jungian, the male part of yourself and the female part of yourself are in connection, and you're not letting the female get carried away by being, and you're not letting the male part of you getting away by, you know, watching too much weird TV and internet.
But you know what? I also love that there's a very literal reading, which is lean on your lover. You know, like I have a partner that I love a lot, and our support systems, you know, are also really.
And I think one of the things about that is that you can trust him to tell you the truth. Like you can trust him to tell you the truth, and not something that's shaded by his own issues or his own stuff. And that's a really good thing to know, is that you can depend on that.
Yeah. Ooh.
So
I'm gonna cry.
oh no. So what's crossing you? What's gonna get? Oh, that's okay. I'm
Swords.
just making sure it's the one that I think it is. Okay, so I call this card Escape from Difficulty.
Okay.
And if you look at a lot of the decks, you'll see they're in a boat crossing the water. And stop trying to get out of what's real. As far as your job, you may disagree.
No, I'm enjoying.
I mean, as far as your job goes, I think there's a place where you're just going to want to duck and hide, and you shouldn't do that. Whenever you're ducking and hiding, that's not serving you.
Yeah. I'm now recalling the writer imagery of like it's like backs turned,
Yes.
Escaping to easier waters.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I mean, what I see is like goes back to the I Ching. It's crossing the great water, which means that you're doing something really epic and huge, and you're moving on to the next thing. But for you, it's like just don't feel like it's all too much for you.
Okay.
And above you, oh, justice.
Great.
You so want to do this right, baby. You so want it to be good. You so want it to be perfect, and it's not going to be. So sorry about that. Not going to be perfect. Don't get all stuck in your control about it.
Okay.
Four of Swords. This is what's kind of past, and I think that it is a kind of a meditation card if you look at it. And I think you've just been withdrawn, and you've been, actors, all that stuff, actor strike, all of that, and now like you're really, really ready to come up out of your cocoon, and you've been gathering and storing energy, and that's what you needed to do.
Cool.
And then down below you at your root, the Knight of Swords.
A lot of swords.
Lots of
coming
swords,
up,
yeah.
I feel like you're on a quest, babe.
Yeah.
You're on a quest. You're on a quest to discover about you, to learn about you, to explore the mystic. And that's just the root of who you are. And when you look at this dynamic between the Knight of Swords and Justice, and swords are so related to justice because swords cut things in half and make things dualistic.
Yeah.
And that justice thing is all about balancing. And so, you're just, in a weird way, you're trying to discover your own moral code.
Ooh.
You're really trying to find...
Not too much on this job.
Well, this job is going to help you.
Yeah.
In whatever way, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, okay, this is kind of what's coming.
Oh.
Just...
Michelle, my favorite.
Oh.
Wow.
So it's the Magician, and it's reversed. So for me, what this means is you're about to find out just how fucking powerful you are.
Ooh, Mom.
And you're really fucking powerful.
Yes, you are.
So and that's what you don't want to shy away from in this card. You don't want to retreat from that. You don't want to retreat from your own personal power, which, own it, baby.
Oh my, Kether! Listen, I thought that we were gonna do a nice light, I've
This is
got
not
a
what
job coming up.
happens.
We'll just, I got read to filth again.
48
Well,
years,
Kether's
that's not what happens.
you cut through everything, and you
love
see
it.
me.
I
This
love
is
it.
an incrable read. Thank you so
Well,
much.
should we
Not
stop?
done. No.
Really? Yeah, we gotta wrap
So
it.
we'll go fast. We'll go fast.
Okay.
Self. No, they gotta.
go
Because
this
there's
way?
two more.
Oh, yeah. Oh, towards us.
Yeah.
You're going this way.
So,
of course.
by the way, guys, I always read towards me.
Makes sense.
But wait a minute, that goes there.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry.
No.
don't be crying around spilt milk.
Okay. Oh.
Oh, that is that.
This is the
yeah.
crying over spilt milk.
Yeah.
And it's like you're going to focus on the things that you've lost or that didn't work out or that where you feel lost and stop doing that because there's this other stuff that's like awesome. So when you find yourself kind of like, oh, poor me, I don't know if I'm good enough and I don't know. Stop. Turn around. It's there.
Okay, you know what I love? We have these pip cards we haven't really talked about. This has the imagery of that
Yeah,
because in
the
the
one
Five
cup.
of Cups, there's this guy and he's looking at the 3 spilled cups, not noticing that, first of all, one of them has poison in it, and also that there's 2 perfectly good cups right there. So I love that detail.
There, just like the 8 of Rods, which I think also has that picture. So we're going fast. This is about your environment. Okay, so this is kind of interesting about your environment. I feel like I feel like you're going to be walking into this environment of your job, okay? And I feel like you're going to walk in a kind of guarded way. And so that might happen.
Okay.
We have to take a quick. We have to take a quick
Yeah, actually,
break.
we have to end it. I know,
We
we're
have to
so
end it.
close.
But we're gonna do the other two.
Yeah, let's. Yeah, actually,
Two
let's
more
take.
cards. Two more cards.
Do we have
Next
two?
time.
Two more cards. You
Okay,
can
we
do it
gotta
after
go
the
real
break.
quick.
Two more
though.
cards.
Oh, after the break.
After the break.
After the break.
Finish
So
it.
we're not saying
Sorry.
goodbye. I'm so sorry. We are just moving all of this to exclusively to Beacon, and you can join us by using promo code B-Day Cards for 1 month free of Beacon. If you are definitely not done with this, we are just going to take
If
a
you
$5.
want to know if it's going to work out for her.
Actually, yes. I'm so sorry for having
Sorry for the
it.
cliffhanger. We'll be
Yeah,
right back.
it's-
We'll be right back.
And we'll pick it up.
We'll pick it up.
See you all in a bit.